So, Assalamu alaikum everyone, and formally welcome to all of you in this exciting another online session. And if you remember that in the previous lectures we talked about academic writing, and I introduced you to the components of academic writing. Like when we talk about academic writing, so academic writing is formal. It has to have an objective. It is like more uses more formal and complex and advanced vocabulary and complex grammar structures. All right, so we have discussed all these things. Now our topic today is essay writing. If I ask you that what is the definition of an essay, how will you define an essay? What do you think? What will be your definition? What will be your explanation? You can write in the
Ma'am,
chat box. Yes, please.
a short formal piece of writing is called
Our
essay.
all right, so our short formal piece of writing, that's correct. Okay, you can write in the chat box as well. I will read your responses. As you know that I always like interactive classes. All right. Uh, Afzal, you are right that when we talk about essay writing, it means it is a short, formal piece of writing. That's right. So when we are writing an essay, what do you think? That do we write on one idea or one particular topic, or we can in essay incorporate and talk about and write about multiple topics? What do you think? It should be on one single idea, or it can discuss multiple topics. What is your opinion about it?
And single subject.
Single idea. All right. So as you can see on my
Particular
screen,
subject on a particular
a
subject.
particular subject. Correct. So a written composition,
Typically written,
yeah, of
try to
moderate.
quickly.
Okay. Thank you for your responses. Let me admit students are joining. 27 students. That's a great strength today. Okay. So a written composition of moderate length explaining one single particular issue or subject. And when you are writing, you are expressing your thoughts and your ideas, and definitely you have to support your thoughts and ideas by giving evidences and the
By always
details and examples and facts and the research point. Yes, Subur has raised the hand. Yes, Subur, would you like to ask any questions? Yes, Subur. All right, if you have no questions, then we will move forward. You can write in the chat box. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. Okay, tell me how many parts of an essay are? What do you think? How many parts? All right, thank you, Abdullah, for
ma'am,
answering.
5 parts, I think so.
All right, there are 5 parts of an essay. So can you just write in the chat box or tell me that what are these parts of an essay? Yes, can you please tell me? I mean, this is something that you have been learning for a lot of years, and for like since you
So
started formal writing. So tell me that what are the parts of an essay, and how many parts of an essay are? Okay, Adnan is saying introductory part. Yes, introduction, which is called an introduction. You are right, Adnan. What else? Okay, so your first paragraph is introduction. Then, okay, Adnan is also saying, okay, Azra also said introduction. Adnan is saying concluding part, which is called conclusion. All right. Yes, which is the end actually. This is the end paragraph, right? The end part. What comes in between? Three part first beginning. Second part is like beginning or introduction. Irham has written. Second part is called body, and third part is called ending. Ending, like we can call it conclusion. All right. All right. Somebody said 5 parts. Are we missing anything? Like who would you would like to explain that? Are there any other parts besides these three: introduction, body, and conclusion? Do you?
men, three are basic parts.
Three are basic parts. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your input. All right. Now I have a question from you. That an essay has 3 parts. All right. Then what about an introduction? Let's talk about introductory paragraph. All right. how many parts does an introductory paragraph, have? How many parts does it,
You introduced something, ma'am.
sorry?
Ma'am, what was the question? Please repeat.
Okay, I'm saying that an essay has three parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. All right. Now, what about introduction paragraph? The first introductory paragraph. How many parts does an introductory paragraph have? Like एक introduction के कितने parts होते हैं? If you are writing an essay, so when you are writing an introduction of an essay, what do you think? What should you write in it? All right. Do we know about it? Or if we don't know about it, that's perfectly fine. All right. Okay. Is the reference part of essay? All right. Mohsin is saying the reference part of an essay. Okay. So see, why did I say that, please attend the session today? Because normally we have learned and studied that an essay has three parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. But what about the further details, that what you should write in each part? What should you write in introduction? What should you write in body? What should you write in conclusion? This is also something very, very important for all of us to learn. So in the
In introduction, introduce something, constitutions and this is.
Okay. So like, as you can see on my screen, all right. So when we talk about an essay writing, so basically we have always heard about three parts, which is correct. Like, you all answered it correctly, that an essay has three parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. But only this information is not enough for writing a good essay. And when you are writing it in your own words, when you are writing for academic purposes, when you are writing your research papers, when you are writing your, for your university exams, all right? So when you are writing, it is a skill, because like in the previous lecture, I told you that writing is a process. Writing is the pending of your thoughts. It requires a very, very, you can say stringent process to follow, all right? So as you can see on my screen, that essay writing may, we first talk about introduction. So the introduction has three parts: hook, background, and then topic, which is called thesis statement. And the most important part today we are going to study is thesis statement, which is the backbone, like which is the trailer of the movie. Like the trailer of the movie is tells you, it hooks the reader, and sorry, the viewers, that how interesting the movie is going to be. Similarly, your thesis statement has a very important and the cardinal place in your essay. And if your thesis statement is not right, you can say that, I told you that we talk about different entry tests and exam, you can say competitive examination. Most of the people, no matter they have amazing uh, you know language skills, but still they fail in the writing part. Why? Because only this thing is not enough that your English is good. So when you're writing, you have to have the certain information about writing something. And especially when we talk about essay writing, we always have we always have been told that it has only three parts, but we have never studied that what should come in under these three parts, what should be right in it. Okay. And then when we talk about body, it has argument, example, historical perspective, suggestions, and solutions. And when we talk about conclusion, it has final concluding sentence, positive, hope, prediction. So we will discuss each and every part separately. But before that, I would like you to know that kinds of types of essays. All right. What are descriptive essays? Can anyone define me? What is a descriptive essay? Have you written descriptive essays? Hello. Write in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Descriptive describe something
Okay.
about
Okay. All right.
about all the objects of the topic.
Okay. Fine. So descriptive essay that describes anything, that describes any person. All right. It is descriptive essay. What about narrative essay? Have you ever written narrative essays? Okay. Compare and contrast essays, persuasive essays, and argumentative essays. So don't worry, we are going to read and let's see. We are going to know about it in the next slide. Okay. So now look at this descriptive essay. So what is descriptive essay? Descriptive essay, basically the aim of descriptive essays is to provide a vivid picture of a person, location, object, event, or debate. It will offer details that will enable the reader to imagine the item described. All right. So the quality, the most important thing in the descriptive essay is that you should have the collection of the words, and you should be so good in writing that whatever you are describing, the reader can have a very clear picture of that thing. For example, if I ask you to tell me about your village, all right, so how will you describe your village? You should describe your village in such a way that whatever you are telling me about your village, I would be able to create an image of that thing. Now, the more details you are giving, the more, minute, tiny, specific information you are sharing and you are describing, it will help me to imagine, the picture and the place so closely of what you are describing. Like, in my imagination, I will be able to see this. Get it? Get it? All right. Now let's go to the next is narrative.
Yes, ma'am. What happened?
Am I audible? Hello, is my voice clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, okay. So what is the narrative essay? The aim of narrative essay is to describe a course of events from a subjective, vantage means advantage or point of view, and maybe written in first person present or first person past tense. All right. Tell me that can we say writing a story is a part of narrative writing? Can we say that? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
मैम आपकी वॉइस क्लियर नहीं है.
Oh, right. Let me just see. Okay. Is it audible? Is it clear enough now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
अब सही
Okay.
है.
So, all right. See, in narrative essays, we can say that when you are writing about your experiences, all right. So, when you are writing about your experiences and you are telling in a chronological order, not always, but mostly we follow the chronological order, means that you have to state the event first that happened first. All right. and then after that, and in the end, so we follow the chronological, what should I say, the mention, we state the events in the chronological order, but not always, not always. So essay do follow the development of a person through a series of experiences and reflections. Okay, so the focus of the essay is often to more clearly identify the point of view of the narrator and to express common features of subjectivity. So when you are
Ma'am,
writing about your personal experiences, when you are writing about your when you are writing a story, that is an example of narrative writing. Yes, Afzal, you would like to ask a question, please go ahead.
I was ma'am Asad.
Yes, others, please.
Ma'am, it means say that we can say that in narrative essay we have our own point of view regarding something else, regarding an event.
Exactly. When a writer is writing a story, okay, when a writer is writing a story, then
Yes, ma'am.
the treatment of the character he decides. All right, the you can say the character of the the characteristics of a particular character in that story, and as well as the events happening, and the twists and the turns, all right, and the messaging, everything is decided by the writer. So when you are writing a story or you are writing poetry, this is your own narrative, your own personal narrative. All right.
Vivid story.
Yes. Okay, now
Okay.
let's see. The other kind is compare and contrast essays. Acha, by the way, compare and contrast essays are, the essays is to develop the relationship between two or more things. So generally, the goal is to show that superficial differences or similarities are inadequate, that closer examination reveals their unobvious yet significant relations or differences. Now, let me explain you. Compare and contrast essays. For example, if I ask you, and we will do a separate session on compare and contrast essay writing. Okay, we will do a separate session on it.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Sharafat Ali is asking that what is the chronological order. All right, Sharafat Ali, chronological order is like, in easy words you can say, sequencing. All right, the sequencing of the events. For example, if you're writing numbers, all right, 1 to 10, so what should you do? Like, if you are writing them in proper order, that is chronological order. All right, so when there are 10 things happened in 1 month, so you are going to write the first thing first and the second thing second. All right, similarly, when you are writing a story, so you will mention that what happened first and then what happened later. When you are sharing your experiences, uh, for example, that you want to talk about a day at the farmhouse or something, then you will mention from the beginning that what happened first. All right, that is the chronological order.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now the next thing is, okay, compare and contrast essay. We will have a separate session on it. So compare and contrast essay, we can say that, the difference between Bollywood and Hollywood movies. We can also talk about the life, the compare and contrast, like two cities, Islamabad and Karachi. All right. So you have to write when you are comparing, and when we are talking about the similarities and differences of two things. Clear? Okay.
Clear, ma'am.
And we will have a separate session on it, and I will also give you the assignment. What is the persuasive essay? In the persuasive essay, the writer tries to persuade the reader to accept an idea or agree with an opinion. The writer's purpose is to convince the reader that her or his point of view is reasonable one. Acha, the persuasive essay should be written in a style that grabs and holds the reader's attention, and writer's opinion should be backed up by strong support details. All right. So you see that persuasive essays are like, when you're writing, you would like to write in a way that can convinces the reader in the end. All right. So definitely you are mentioning such a strong supporting details and the examples that convinces the reader, which is little bit different than you can say from argumentative essay. So sometimes you are given a task to write argumentative essay. What are argumentative essays? So argumentative essays are different than persuasive essays because they are often used to address controversial issues, serious issues over which there is some evident disagreement. All right. So an argument is a position combined with its supporting reasons. Argumentative papers thus set out a main claim and then provide reasons for thinking that the claim is true. So acknowledging opposing views and either refuting them, either, refuting means discard, to discard someone's opinion or to discard someone's point of view. All right. Not accepting that. And acknowledging means accepting that, or conceding to them is a common practice in this form of essay. All right. So in argumentative essay, you argue, but you don't argue just for sake of argue. You have to present very strong evidences to prove your point. Clear? There is more logical, you can say that logical statements and arguments should be there. Yeah, please.
And is it a genre of writing?
It is like we are right now we are learning about the types of essays. So I'm explaining
Sure.
you that these are the types, and then I think that we are going to discuss have three different writings and separate sessions on these three different kinds. All right, but the most important thing for you to understand the structure of an essay. If you don't understand that how how the essays are written, then you will not be able to write any of these types. Okay, so the fundamental and basic things are important. This is an icebreaker activity. Okay, so I would like to involve you in it. Just tell me, how much practice were you given, how much practice were you given writing composition in high school? In high school means when you were in your intermediate. Did you practice a lot for writing your composition? What should be your answer? Much, some, or little?
Much, ma'am, much.
Much practice. You did much practice. Wow, that's great.
Sure, ma'am.
All right. Ariba is also saying much. Nice. Okay. How much feedback, positive or negative comments from teachers were given on your compositions? Yes.
Little, ma'am, little.
Little. All right. Saima is also saying little. All right. So that's okay. Now we also have a question in the next slide. You are reflecting upon your writing practices. No one can become a good writer over a night, or you will not, you cannot anticipate and cannot think that you will become you can write an essay and learn everything about essay over a night. Writing is a process. It requires time. How did your teachers seem to regard your writing? Like, what do you think that your teachers regarded your writing as good, as fair, or as poor? I'm talking
Good,
about
good.
creative writing. I'm talking about creative writing, not the memorized writing. Okay.
Sure, ma'am, creative.
Creative writing. Good. All right. That's great. Okay. Do you feel that some people simply have a gift of writing? This is a very good question. Do you think that some people simply
Sure, ma'am.
have a gift of
Yes,
writing
ma'am.
or others don't? It is like a natural, writing is natural ability. What do you think?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
ma'am, before that, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, please.
Don't, ma'am, it is always said that the more you read, the more you write, the more you listen, the more you talk.
Yes.
So simply say that essay depends on how we read, how much we read.
Okay.
Because by reading,
Ma'am, some pupils have curiosity.
Okay.
by reading the books, we will know the game of structure, how the different writers are playing with the structure game. So
Okay.
is it true, ma'am?
Yes. I mean, you see, uh, okay. Do you feel that some people simply have gift for writing and others do not. Okay, so what does it mean that do you think and do you claim that writers are born, all right, and there are people who are gifted, all right, they are destined, this is their divine ability that they can okay, that they can write. Okay, I'll take your comments and read your comments from the chat box later, all right. Or what do you think that writing is a skill? We can think from two perspectives, all right. You all said initially when I asked you this question, you said yes. When I asked you, do you feel that some people simply have a gift for writing and others do not? You said yes, all right. Which actually, you can think and just observe yourself that when you were in your, like if you at this point of time imagine that you want to write something and you are not able to write very well, all right, what should you do? Will you give up by thinking that I'm not gifted by god, I'm not naturally or by birth I'm not a very good writer, or I don't possess this quality, and so I cannot write, so I shouldn't even try writing? Is that so? All right, Simon is saying no, everyone has an ability of writing if focus is on everyone is god gifted. I really like the answer because you know th- things god gifted or natural ability is a different thing, but writing is a skill and all skills can be learned and can be acquired. All right, Ariba is saying that her English teacher told her that comment on my essay that you will become the good essayist if you learn, okay, or if you keep writing. Exactly, at some stages of life when you are doing something good and you get good feedback, you try to learn more about it, you try to improve that skills. Sometimes you focus more on improving that skills and sometimes you get a lot busy in other things and you leave that, you stop practicing. So practice makes a man perfect and every skill can be learned. So writing is a skill and it is a process. All right, so let's move forward. Let's talk about parts of an essay. First of all, an introductory paragraph has three parts. All right. When you're writing an introduction of an essay on any topics, on any given topics or subject, you will see that the introductory paragraph or the introduction of an essay has to have three things. Number one, the hook. What is hook? Hook is the interesting sentence about the topic. All right. Second thing that you should know or it should have is a background information on the topic, or we can also say references. Background information or references. Like you can, in the background information, you can write facts, you can state facts, numbers, group opinions, or history. And the third and the most important thing is thesis statement. So what is the thesis statement? Thesis statement is the main idea about the topic. Okay, is this clear? If you have any questions about it, you can ask.
No, ma'am, clear.
All right.
Proceed.
Okay. So, see, we are right now focusing on only one thing, that is writing an introduction of an essay. So when you're writing an introduction of an essay, introduction, interesting, it has three parts. Again, hook, background information, and thesis statement. Thesis statement is what? Thesis statement is basically the main idea of the whole essay. All right, it is the backbone of you can say it is the backbone, it is the foundation of an essay on which the whole, the entire essay is existing. All right, thesis statement also has one main idea plus three reasons. It could have three reasons, three steps, three examples of something, three parts of something. Depends what the topic is. I mean, depends upon the topic, that whether and the kind of the essay. If it is, there is another kind of an essay which is called exposition. All right, it is expository essay, so it will have three steps. All right. This is an example, the hook. A sentence that hooks the reader's attention and make them want to read more. What is hook? The first part, hook, is a sentence. It is the opening sentence of an essay that has to, you can say catch, which is so interesting that it catches the reader's attention. It grabs the reader's attention and the reader wants to read more. Like, is that clear? There are some examples on the screen, as you can see, that your hook can be a surprising fact or statistics. You may have read a lot of essays that begin with any statistics or the research, statement, right? For example, surprising fact: according to the World Health Organization, 1 in 4 adults do not get enough exercise. So our topic is, if your topic is exercise, these 5 could be the possible hook which can, interest the reader. So your one of the options you have, that your hook can be a surprising fact or statistics. It can be an interesting question. You may have seen a lot of essays that begin with a question: does exercise only improve health if it is difficult? Essay can also begin, or the first line, and the hook can be a quote, a quotation, all right, about the topic. Like, reading is to mind what exercise is to body, according to Joseph Edison. It can be a contradictory statement. For example, people think strenuous exercise is better for them than easy exercise, but almost no one does a strenuous routine twice. What is the meaning of strenuous? It means hard exercise, right? So you see that there are two contradictory points, that on one side, people think that hard exercise is good, it's better. But on the other hand, they don't do exercise, it's not their routine. And the last example is like, you can also state in your first sentence that why the topic is important. Okay, so people need exercise to stay healthy. So this is one statement. This can be your hook and an interesting sentence that can grab the reader's attention. Is that clear? All right. So
Yes, ma'am.
all right. So we have few minutes to over this meeting, and after 10 minutes, we will start another session. All right. Let me just admit those who are now entering. Okay, and chat box. Okay. Let me see what is the next part. Okay. Now, when we we have talked about the first part, that was okay, that was hook. The second part is background example. All right, remember the introduction has 3 parts: hook, background information, and the third is thesis statement. So thesis statement is more detailed. After this background information, I think by that time the meeting will be over. We have few minutes to cover. Background information, like after hook, you need to write the background information. Okay, so even the background information can also have surprising statistics fact, like, you see, a vigorous 30 minutes walk. A vigorous 30 minutes walk, admit all right, okay, raises your heart rate and burns over 100 calories. So your background information can be a surprising, statistics or fact. It can also be a definition. For example, what is vigorous exercise? Vigorous exercise is physical activity that raises the heart rate and speeds up breathing. It can be a positive or negative opinions. Many people view walking as too easy to improve health or help weight loss. So it is one opinion, like, people think like that walking is a good exercise because it is easy, all right, and it can help, lose the weight. It can be opposite opinions, like some people enjoy walking, but others prefer higher intensity sports like running, weightlifting or swimming. Okay, you can also state historical, references, like historically people walked as a form of transportation. By 1900, walking was an Olympic event. All right, so look at this. This is, you are quoting here historical facts. And then the last one is after history, what do we have? Yeah, trends or recent changes. By the 1900s, walking was a popular US sport with over 65 million regular walkers. Okay, so your hook is the first sentence, then the background information and the references, in which you can also state the surprising statistics or fake facts. You can also tell the definition. You can also write any positive or negative opinions about the topic. Depends upon the topic that how you would like to build around the first sentence, that is how you would like to build around further information. All right. So here we are actually going to end this first meeting. Only 1 or 2 minutes remaining, and then we will meet after 10 minutes.